Hello and welcome to the second edition of the Bitcoin Design Guide PR review session focused on the new multi-wallet page. Thanks all for joining and continuing to help out with this. I super appreciate it because the page was a little complicated to put together. In the last one, which is uploaded to YouTube and Bitcoin TV, for anyone to catch up, we got right around to the end of the degrees of separation page. Right around here, I think. We were just about to go into individual user flows, if I remember correctly, which is not even halfway down the page. But as we realized, those top two sections are very meaty, and they set up a lot what's coming after them. So now we can go through those. How does that sound? Did I summarize that okay? Okay. Uti, sorry, you're kind of jumping here in the middle a little bit because we already had this reading session, so I hope it all kind of makes sense. Okay, nice gone. Maybe he'll come back. So hopefully it'll be nice. So let's see. So now let's just see. We just talked about how certain things will be handled separately, certain things will be combined. Like you're going to have one contact book across all wallets, not separate contact books for each wallet. Yeah, and I think we did read through this here at the bottom, right?
Which one was that? Yeah, I think we did. Yeah.
So that's where the next sections really go into. I haven't read anything. Should I read that one, or is it weird because I wrote it? Do you want to continue reading?
I'm trying to.
I don't have an opinion.
Yeah, I'll just read it then. Okay, payment screen. Compared to the daily spending wallet, the only addition to the payment screen is an indicator for the currently selected wallet, right above the amount input. This indicator also functions as a button to expand the wallet's switcher modal. The modal lists all available wallets along with their balances. In our scenario, the balance of the inheritance wallet is not visible since the user has set up a separate PIN for it. They are concerned about accidentally exposing this information to bystanders. Then we get to see two images, which looks like they illustrate the text that I just read. And the first one, this is the kind of a typical daily spending wallet landing screen that doesn't show the balance, but it's just focused on quickly sending and receiving. And the currently selected wallet is indicated above the balance. I see that. And then the right image is it was just described. I tap the wallet name, slides up, and I get to tap another wallet, and that one will then become selected. And the detail here is that I cannot see the balance of the inheritance wallet in this modal because the separate PIN is required, which was also just described here. So yeah, obviously for me it makes sense because I wrote the text and created the images. But do you have any questions about that?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward.
Same. Straightforward. It's clean. You get it.
The only thing that I kind of in the image that I kind of stumbled upon or I'm chewing on is that I don't see the balance on the left side, right? I see zeros because I haven't entered an amount, but I don't see how much I have on the main screen. I have to open the modal to see how much I have.
Yeah, but that's all on the activity screen. That's where the balance typically is because we don't want to expose the balance when you're paying something at the store. So it's a privacy.
Okay.
It's separately. And that was a big discussion in the daily spending wallet design. That this screen is for when you open it up, you don't expose your balance by default because it's mobile.
Okay. Yeah, wasn't around.
Mm-hmm.
It's
okay. Then that's.
Would it make sense to show in the first screen that it's hidden. So that sort of hidden option, like where there's the stars, and then that it then reveals itself in the second screen. It's the same thing that Michael said. It feels as if I should see 165362 on the first screen as well. But it's not a big thing. But I mean, I don't know. Just yeah.
No, I mean that doesn't. I mean, that screen is for sending and receiving. It's that introductory screen. It's intentionally there's no hint of the balance, and whether you hide it and tap it to show it, it's one tap, which is the same as tapping on the activity tab.
Activity.
It's like either way, like it's on the activity tab. That's where you have a list of transactions with the balance.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a totally separate conversation for the daily spending wallet here, basically.
Yeah.
No, and I wasn't aware, or I wasn't around when it was discussed, and since it was discussed, I don't think we need to open the discussion.
Yeah, and we actually had the balance on there by default, but I mean, I don't know if you've been to, I mean, I'm sure you have been to Bitcoin conferences, and there's always a food truck, and I've been at meetups where people buy stuff. Everyone in front of you pulls out their Lightning wallet to get ready, and you can see everyone's balances just kind of by peeking.
Let's leave the can of worm closed.
Yeah.
Let's leave that can closed.
Okay.
That's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, who wants to read the next one?
Do you want to go first, Michael? I went first the last time.
Yeah. Sure. All right. Balance and activity. By default, balance and activity only include information from the currently selected wallet. A wallet switcher is available again right above the balance. The switcher includes the option to select multiple or all wallets, so that users can more easily get an overview of all their funds. This selection carries through to the search functionality. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's more or less the same mechanism as above, right? You have the same indicator. For me, it makes sense. And you can also, I see you can in the image, in the middle image, you can select all wallets with this on the top left. So I guess that selects or select all wallets except for the inheritance wallet, or including.
You'd have to enter the PIN.
Okay. Yeah, but to me, it makes sense.
And that's because it's a different use case. Here, I want to analyze my spending or my income. And if I could only select one wallet at a time, it'd be limiting, right? I just want to see everything that happened this week and have to click through each individual wallet if I could only select one. But because we allow you to select multiple, I can just see everything that happened. So the interaction model is just a little bit different to make that more powerful.
Yeah.
I have an idea for the third screen. I see that there's two. There's the option for most recent as a filter option. Now, I'm just thinking, like for me, sometimes I'm just with my traditional banking applications, I often like to know what's the area in my finances that I spend the most money on, because that helps with budgeting. So I'm just wondering if it might be an option to add in also amount as a filter option. But it adds in complexity, but obviously I think other builders can think of the solution themselves, but maybe adding in the amount as a filter option. Just thinking of that.
Yeah, I mean that's a sorting thing, and the sorting is not even described on here. It's just like it's a placeholder. But yeah, that is probably most recent, highest amount. I don't know, what else would you have? Alphabetical doesn't make sense.
Just that really, I couldn't see anything else being relevant. I mean, for me, it's mostly the amount that I tend to look at.
Maybe failed transactions.
Could be. It adds on additional complexity, and maybe because this page is already so, fleshed out, then you just add in more complexity. It's, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I sometimes filter just for instance, for outgoing payments because I am looking for something that that I paid for or I received. So, or in a certain, amount of time, let's say just in June 2023, these kinds of things. But yeah, I mean, this is probably
Yeah.
way beyond the scope of.
And this
I think
is
that's really outside of the scope. Yeah.
this is really described in the activity page of the daily spending wallet. There's a
Yeah.
whole thing about this section, also about when it indicates when you have transactions that don't have any names or labels or anything applied to help you more quickly
Yeah.
add that information. Yeah, and another interesting thing was that with Lightning recently, we saw these Eagle Sats and stuff like that that allow you to basically like Lightning address email lists. So you can add yourself to this list, and then other people can advertise to those lists. So like, I want to send 5,000 sats distributed across all these registered emails with my advertising message. So if I'm looking at, and of course I signed up because I try things. So I got my Albi incoming list. The last 10 ones are 1 or 2 sats from those ads. So people, I think SUSE has it now, an option to filter out low sat transactions. That you don't even see those because they just clog your feed.
Yeah, makes
But yeah,
sense.
that's a activity list design thing, not really wallet selection.
Yeah. I like that you basically just highlight what's different because yeah, everything else is a bigger topic, and I think it makes it clear. It really, you see what is relevant in this use case of multiple wallets, and you don't need more to be
But
explained
I think
since you're linking to the other.
Yeah, but I think what's coming clear is that you need to know a little bit about those screens to understand, what's changed, what's unique, and that some of those decisions happened elsewhere, and so you
Yeah.
have to read up almost a little bit. Or,
And you link there to the activity as well, which I'm guessing is the activity page, which is, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah, maybe that could go further at the top. Maybe there could be a note here that that these are basically variations or iterations. Yeah. Yeah, let me take a note on that. Maybe that could be made more clear.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I just reread at least to me, it kind of is clear from the first 2 sentences that this is basically on top of everything that's in the activity on the activity page. Especially since you have the same pattern on the payment screen, right? Where you say, okay, compared to the daily spending wallet, the addition is XYZ, and you do the same thing with the balance and activity. So it's kind of the same pattern that is repeating. So I think good enough.
So Uwe is leaving some comments here. Just asking, why don't you use systematic red for the outgoing payments like green used for incoming? And the second comment was, for the tab in the images you are using, transact in one and payments in the other. I'm just trying to see.
Okay. Well, for the red, I can answer that one. I don't think red is kind of annoying. It always looks like an error. I don't like the overuse of red. And if we're just talking about visual differentiation, then it's enough that one thing has a different color. You don't need the red. It will stand out more, sure, but it will also add more visual noise to it. That's not really necessary. If one's black, one's green, you already have a visual differentiation. Red would be an additional thing, but it's not necessary. And so I like to use the least amount of differentiation that's needed to communicate.
Mhm.
And it doesn't make you feel bad. It's like, it's all this red.
Mhm.
And for the images, transact, and payments, I'll have to check.
I'm not sure which one he's referring to.
Transact.
Yeah, it's in the tab bar at the bottom, the left in the payment screen. It's called transact.
Yeah, good
The
one.
tab bar and
Mhm.
whoa, I didn't notice that. Good
Oh,
job.
I didn't notice that either. I see that now too.
Yeah.
It's transact and then payments. Yeah, I see that. Gotcha.
Yeah, transact / payments. Cool, good one. Thanks for that. Okay, cool. Yeah. Anything else on that one?
Yep.
Nope.
So we go to sending.
Cool. Should I start this one? Feels like a phone app. Okay.
It is a phone app.
Sending. A wallet indicator and switcher in the send flow is a necessity to keep users informed about which funds will be transferred. Applications may automatically switch wallets to match the given payment information. For example, if the user selects a contact that only has a Lightning address, the application should switch to the Lightning wallet. Users should be able to easily override these if they want to act differently based on their current needs and goals. For example, an application may decide that the on-chain wallet is most appropriate for a payment because the Lightning wallet is low on liquidity. However, the user might be in a rush and prefers to use Lightning even if it means paying a swap fee for the additional liquidity. Note that it is not possible in this design to transfer funds from multiple wallets at once. Okay, let me look at the image now. So the image is from, it's telling me which account I'm sending it from. I'm sending it from my spinning account. I'm going to enter the amount. I'm going to send it to Jane, and that is the fee, and I can click send. So this is the wallet indicator, sending. Easily override these if they want. So the override ability is because they can switch the tab. For example, okay. I mean, this makes sense to me. The second paragraph feels a little bit. It's so tricky with this. It feels a bit heavy on information, but it makes sense. Like the user should be able to easily override these if they want to act differently based on their current needs. Yes, and then my brain wants to stop there. And then it says, for example, an application may decide that the on-chain wallet is most appropriate for a payment because the Lightning wallet is low on liquidity. So this is the wallet making a decision, and then the user makes a decision in the first paragraph. And however, the user might be in a rush and prefers, it feels like there's a wallet making a decision here for the user, and then there's also a user making a decision for themselves. And that's kind of two different cases in this one paragraph. But yeah, I get it. Yeah. That's the two bits in that paragraph that's coming forward. Yeah.
Yeah, also in the sending page there, it goes a lot into that you can you could scan a QR code, you can click a link, you can manually enter address, you can select something from your address book. There are all these ways to start a send flow. So the send screen can just be a bunch of information gets pushed into it in one way or another. And then the send screen guy has to figure out, and sometimes it gets, an on-chain and a Lightning invoice potentially, or in a Lightning address or something else, where it has to figure out, well, which one should I use and which wallet should be selected by default. So it kind of has to make a guess. But then the user that just might not be what the user wants, and then they should be able to change it. I mean, it's basically very simple. The explainer, the example is more complicated than what it really is, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me. This you just have to read. I had to read the second paragraph the second time, but that's quite common, I think, with these kinds of topics. But other than that, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's It says in the first paragraph that the wallet may make a decision or a default decision, which you can then override. Yeah, and then you basically have a concrete example of what might be a reason to override the wallet's decision.
There could be a possibility to split this paragraph into user making a decision and wallet making a decision. Could be a possibility. Not necessary, but it's a possibility to make that separation.
Look at that. It's the Hub 21 crew.
Who? Did someone?
Hub 21.
There he is!
They don't seem to have microphones there.
Wait, he's figuring out. Be patient with Johns. Johns, we will be patient with you. Don't worry about these guys. Oh no, he's gone.
He'll be back, I think. Okay.
I mean, possibility to split it and possibility to just leave it as it is. Either way, it's good. You can split it you could split this large paragraph into user making the decision, wallet making the decision, and then reader would know this is what I need to do on the back end if I'm the developer, and that's what's happening. Anyway, but yeah.
Maybe to piggyback on that, maybe it would just do the trick if you take the first sentence from the second paragraph and add it to the first one.
Yeah.
Because the user selects a contact.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's up, but yeah, I think it's polishing the details.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. But I'm taking notes on all of this stuff, and I will look at it again.
Okay. Michael, do you want to do? Okay.
Let's do it. Oh, Johns can read.
Is Johns here? Where's Johns?
Yeah, he's back.
Come on, Johns.
Hey, everyone. We're reading the Send Bitcoin page?
Yes.
Not Send Bitcoin. This is the multi-wallet thing. Here we go. Just shared the link in the chat.
Sure.
Yeah, so this is about how an application can handle multiple wallets in the same UI, like what things are kept separate, what things are kept the same, from the keys to the contact book and how this stuff now surfaces in the UI that's different from the daily spending wallet.
Okay. So you guys just started, or you're already at transfers?
No, we're already an hour and a half in.
Damn. Okay. So you're at transfers now, yeah?
Yeah.
Transfers. In addition to the new from selector, the to field also needs to become more flexible to allow for transfers. Transfers between wallets on different layers include additional complexity and may require either a manual process or the use of a third-party service like a Lightning service provider. Okay. Then we got the screens from amount to. Okay. I guess that's pretty straightforward there. You like it?
Yeah. I think the complexity is just under the hood, really. How do you get something from Lightning to on-chain or,
Yeah. What's the, why would you need to use a third-party service like a Lightning service provider then? Like if you're going from on-chain to Lightning, you're trying to, between those wallets, yeah. What's the point in which the user's going to need that?
Well, it depends if this is a completely self-custodial setup or not, I guess. To be honest, I haven't thought through it exactly in detail.
Okay. Well, we could continue, I guess, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Receiving.
So,
You wanted to say something? Okay.
the only thing, but maybe I'm missing it on the screen is, I mean, here it shows how you transfer stuff between your own wallets, or you send to your existing contacts. But how do I send something to a new address or an address that is not yet known?
Okay, yeah, that should be in the send to. There should actually be an option in there that's missing from this mockup. For that,
Okay.
you can also see that should be covered in the daily spending wallet sending screen. And yeah, and I believe in the 2, there's the input field is separate from the interaction from that little arrow to pull up the screen, so you can manually enter stuff right there as well.
Okay.
You remember this one, Christoph?
Oh yeah.
I still like this kind of modal though. Like the 2, you could paste in an address, put an amount, some labels. But if it was an address that you pasted in, it, like prompts you, but then you could like continue without making the contact.
Yeah. I mean, a big thing is that usually you will not manually enter anything, except maybe a Lightning address, because it's just not manually enterable. So you will have it on your clipboard. You're going to click a link. You're going to scan a QR code or something. So the manual entry is really kind of a lower on the use case list. But
I think it's more copy paste, right? It's like being able to put the address in instead of being able to just send to a contact directly. But I think for the illustration on this page, it's like it doesn't have to have all the details of like, all the different functions. It's like because it's illustrating the content there.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, receiving payment request. The user shares receiving payment request. The user shares include the currently selected wallet as well. And when receiving Bitcoin, ensure users can easily see which wallet the payment was received to and navigate there with a tap. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Payment request indicate the selected wallet.
So again, this compares to the daily spending wallet. You just have one wallet. You tap your notification, it goes to the one place. Here we need to indicate which wallet it is. You tap it, it needs to take you to that wallet. The application needs to automatically switch over. That's really the primary. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
My brain is just grappling the amount of work that has gone behind this page, because like there's all the screens and then there's the text that with the screens. Wow.
We have around 300 screens in the Bitcoin design guide. I mean, that's a huge multi-year effort by a lot of people.
But just this page also, this page, I mean, I'm thinking about the wallet scrutiny case study, and I have 5 images in there. And I know how much of time it took to get the images right, but there's a lot of images here as well. So
pretty much all John's and Hub 21 crew.
Exactly. Hub 21 is all there. Do you know? No, that's Crystal. Well, Mo, I don't know if you heard about it. There's a really cool toolkit. It's called the Wallet UI Kit, and it makes doing these kind of jobs very quick and easy. So
I know.
That many screens on their case studies.
Well, let me tell you about my UX research toolkit.
Let's go.
We send a call afterwards to discuss that. Yeah. No.
How we feel about receiving though? We talk about the payment request, getting like the account showing up, the the push notification as well, and when you might be requesting it. Include cross wallet recipients. How do we feel?
That text needs to be updated. You're in the spending wallet, and it tells you that sats to spending. That should be sats to savings. Like you have one wallet active, it needs to tell you when you received it to another wallet.
Yeah, I see that on the third screen. Yeah, I see that.
So need update label, taking a note.
No, but that's what I meant. Like, I know that a lot of these screens come out of the UI kit and there's slight modifications of, but still, the UI kit UI designs have been modified to suit this specific page. You know, so there is work and thought that goes into that. So that's a lot. Yeah.
Thanks, AI.
Unless it's AI. All right.
We're far from that. Anytime I tried AI for interface design, it's just
No, same.
we're not there yet.
Same.
Okay, cool. Now settings, which is really lightweight.
Does someone else want to read this one?
Yeah, I can go.
Okay.
All right, settings. Our settings are organized into application-wide settings and wallet-specific settings. A user may choose different security options across wallets, for example, to reduce friction for small Lightning payments and better security for wallets that store large amounts.
Yeah, and something that's not really addressed here is backup. So as we see from above here, we have 6 different wallets with 4 different keys, where one key is used through all of them, and then we have some other stuff. And yeah, I think there could be a more thorough description of the backup process in there. That could be something to add. I don't know if it's necessary because it's outlined at the top. It's not described. It's not visualized. It's the
Mm-hmm. But I mean, we would need that on this page only if it's different from other wallet backups, right? If you would want to back up multiple wallets kind of in one go, for instance, because otherwise I would expect I just go into, let's say, the spending wallet, and there I see an option to download a backup file.
Yeah, I mean, let's take a look. Let's say I'm just using Cloud Backup by default, right? So the 4 main keys are just on there. My partner has key number 2, hardware wallet's number 3. Then for the spending wallet, we need Lightning channel backup if we're doing this ourselves. For the archived one, it's just the key, so that's easy. For the shared one, we also need the XPub of our partner, and the multi-sig config. Basically, for the savings one, it's pretty much the same thing. For the child, it's basically just a bit of application data, and for inheritance, it's probably an XPub. Yeah, so there's just a bunch of data that shows up. That's clearly not something like write down your 12 words level anymore, but it's more complicated. I guess the best is then if it's just one button press, like backup, and then it tells you, I backed up this and this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
But I guess the question for this conversation is, should that be in there? Is it necessary for this page?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have the feeling that it's not really that specific to this page, to this use case, right? Because you have different backups or different backup needs for each of these wallets individually.
Yeah.
And so I think for me this is fine here.
I guess it would be helpful if I could back them up individually, but also the whole thing at once.
That's what I meant. I mean, that would be the difference or the reason why to add it here, where you could say, okay, download or back up everything, like do the Chuck Norris backup stuff.
So at the hub here, we've been doing some research. One of the design patterns, remember the design language or whatever it was called, was this thing called wallet messaging, where two wallets can like talk to one another. Now the idea was like, okay, there needs to be some kind of like transport communication layer between different wallets, so then you could do stuff like request a payment and stuff like that. Then what we started doing here was to try to figure out, are we able to do this on the same device, like without a transport layer of like external? So that means it's like you have one main Bitcoin wallet, but then everything else is kind of calling to it, right?
Mhm.
And we're actually successful in having this running. It's actually pretty cool. I'll package it up sometime. It's on Android. We'll start doing some experiments on iPhone at some point to see if it could be done. But it's really cool because what happens is that the payment can actually be made completely in the background without any interaction. This is after the initial setup is done, right? So let's say you have like, you remember the case that Steve Lee brought up some time ago? So you have like a some app, Spotify or whatever it is, and it needs to take payment from your wallet. So it does the initial, like, which app do you want to open it with? Okay, go. You could like broadcast the amount of like capabilities that your application has, like support BIP 31, etc., etc. And then it sends back some data, kind of like a token, to say like, hey, here's a credential that you can now like do transactions on the wallet. The part that's missing from this though is now a whole bunch of background payments can be done, right, to your wallet by some random app. What happens there? You know? I guess I bring it up because like there needs to be some kind of like as you wrote there, security options for being able to like say like, yes, this application is able to take money from this wallet, or I don't know how complex that could end up looking. I have no idea how that looks, but maybe that's something that we can bring in as a project in the Bitcoin design community as well, because I think it relates to this multi wallet app kind of scenario, and I could like borrow a lot from there.
Yeah, that's like that kind of goes into subscriptions, allowances, like LB has them, and also the auto signing. Like Mo, I don't know if you've tried the BitKey yet, but the BitKey has this daily auto spending thing where under a certain amount you don't need the hardware wallet.
Mm-hmm.
The assisted custody, the second signer will just sign for it. Yeah. That's very cool. What do you use for the communication layer? So you basically just keep the app running in the background continuously, which is probably easier on Android because you can just register system notification or something. No?
Even easier. So what I liked about this project, it was like in implementing this, it was like, don't invent anything, use the operating system. So what it used, Android has this kind of thing called a broadcast receiver, right? You can broadcast some like a message to like a whole bunch of different apps, and these are the thing that allows you to do things like intents, like on iOS when you kind of like have the share thing pop up and then you broadcast it to like, where do you want to share the image, and then it goes to the app. So it's kind of like that. We even have a callback method, but it's all using like deep linking and this broadcast receiver in the background. So you send the broadcast receiver, the apps with the capabilities pop up, the one that it chose, and then it has the token, it does the check, and then it goes from there. Yeah, but
Nice.
it's all like Android development at this point,
No, that's excellent. Yeah, especially if it doesn't need anything new.
Exactly.
That means it's native to the operating system, which is nice.
Exactly. It's going to be interesting how these mechanisms work on iOS though, but It was proven. I think that's the first time it's been done, so I'm kind of excited about it.
Awesome. Okay, but now let's get back to the page. We have about 15 minutes. We're almost
Yeah.
at the bottom here. So we talked
Shall I do
about backup
archival?
real quick. Now we have archival. Let's wrap that up.
All right. Archival. Based on the principle of progressive security, the upgradable wallet reference design presents an application in which users can move from one security model to another. An example is a switch from a single key to a multi-key wallet because the user's funds have increased in value. By necessity, this requires a new wallet to be created and funds moved over. This and other scenarios may result in users having multiple older wallets that they no longer actively use. Yep, makes sense. But they may still want to keep an eye on those wallets in case an unexpected payment arrives. Yes. This introduces the need for a wallet archive. Wallets in this archive are tucked away and generally not accessible to the primary user flows. However, the application still looks for incoming transactions and notifies the user accordingly. Okay. Now you have a screen asking you if you want to archive this wallet. I want to archive my spending wallet. This wallet will no longer be accessible in the main screens. It will still be accessible from settings, and you will receive notifications on incoming transactions. Choose a wallet to transfer the funds to. So I'm archiving this one, transferring to this one, and there's a fee to transfer it, and I continue. You've received funds to an archived wallet. You received funds to an archived wallet. Do you want to move these to one of your active wallets? Oh, so now I've received funds, I get the notification, and you're asking me if I want to move it. Yes, move funds. So the first screen is showing you the archive process of the wallet, and the second screen is showing the alert, which are both mentioned in the paragraph above. Yeah, that's good for me. Makes sense.
Yeah, I do think this could almost turn into its own page.
It could, yeah.
With a lot more detail.
Yeah, I had the similar thoughts while working on this on the custom spending conditions design. The page or it gets longer and longer, and actually archiving is actually just the second step. The first one is you have to migrate or create the new wallet, right? And you could an app could also help you with kind of creating a new wallet based on your current one, where you say where the app could say, do you want to create a new wallet with the same keys, or do you want to just do it from scratch and kind of help you with this, and then say, don't throw away the keys to your old wallet to wallet A, because you might still get funds incoming there. So I think it's maybe a good candidate to really have its own page.
The first page that brings this up is the upgradable wallet reference design.
Yeah.
So we could. Yeah. So how about we just keep this one simple? You're going to work on yours. You're going to mention it as well, and then we can extract it and then turn it into something separate.
Yeah. Yeah. We can see whether we just then merge it and take it out of the existing ones.
Okay. Okay, cool. Also took a note on that. And yeah, then I got some stuff thrown in at the bottom here.
This is the fun bit. This is such a nice visual. Who wants to do this one?
Well, you said it's fun. Would you like to?
I'm keen on doing it.
Okay, go for it.
I love the visuals. I just love the use of color over here. It makes me feel happy. So, okay. Alternative approaches. Card-based wallet visualization. A card format sometimes chosen to give wallets a unique look that helps users recognize what it is they're looking at. Some applications also let users customize the appearance, which helps with recognition even more. Regardless of that, it is also recommended to communicate primary properties like the layer and wallet type, single key, multi-key, and view only. And then we have these. So I had a thought that just popped up straight away, because this is called, their second title is called card-based visualization, but it also feels like this is very much talking about customization and
Yep.
personalization.
Which only works if you have those cards, right?
Yeah, exactly. There was a little bit of that came up, and then okay, so now you have the first screen, rectangular cards that are also used to switch wallets. So as an option one, you can have these rectangular cards. You scroll, and then you can look at the activities of all of the wallets. Yeah, I love that purple or violet next to the orange. It's. And then we have spending, savings, the second screen. And then when you're selected, you have this fine line showing around it. And then IC Stacks, Stash, Bitcoin Design, Liquid. And then they're showing you that you have 3 archived wallets. That's really nice. Square cards are more compact. Note the indicators of layer and wallet type. So you're saying that here we're telling them the layer that it's on, the indicators of layer and wallet type.
I'm not totally sold on that one anymore. Actually, I don't know if so. To go back to our first call, we discussed potentially here that we don't have to use the lightning and the Bitcoin symbol for these icons, but we instead we do recommend the customization where I pick an emoji and a color or something like that, because it helps me recognize it better. Or maybe I assign it with assigning it with a contact doesn't make any sense to put their photo in there. But do we really need to say this is Cashew, this is Lightning? Do people get it? Does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe.
I mean, be obvious, be direct. I mean, the thing is about this screen is that, we had it at one of the Bitcoin design community calls, is that there's so many wallets that are being developed, but that sort of personalization approach is missed. And I feel like we could even do a whole fun page in the Bitcoin design guide just about personalization. And I guess that's why this bit makes me so happy, because it's like, it's showing you how you can allow the user to personalize it for them, what they want to see, which I think is highly missed. It's really something that's missed.
It's a bit intentional as well. The UI kit is very intentionally very vanilla, so people can customize it to their liking.
Yeah, but other than that, this makes sense to me. I don't see anything that doesn't make sense. I think the only thing that came up was the second title says card-based visualization, and then I was like, oh, but it's actually also about customization. So
yeah,
it was a bit of like, maybe customization could be used somewhere a bit more. I don't know, as opposed to alternate approaches or personalization, customization, something. I don't know. Personalization and customization is also used a lot in the images and
John's Michael, how do you feel? And Uti, how do you feel about the personalization stuff, indicating which layers and all that?
I think that the personalization thing is where you help the recognizability probably more than just indicating the layers, because it's something that the user chooses based on their preferences and context. But absent, when you kind of create all these wallets and people and users don't personalize them, then you still want to somehow differentiate maybe these by default. So I feel like, for me the middle or these kind of the layer indication or the layered styling differentiation still makes sense until the user overrides them.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's also That's also an
Right.
area where people get like creative, and I mean, it's not Bitcoin design; it's just application UI UX stuff, right? So I think with regards of what's being shown there, it communicates that part, and maybe it's up to the designer to kind of like figure out some of those things. We don't have to answer everything for them, I believe.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Good one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then we have the note about wallet accounts to disambiguate? No, is that the right term? No. Just that the word account can mean a lot of different things, and wallet can mean a lot of things. And we've repeated that in other places as well. That's really just that bottom part. Do you want to look at that, or?
I read it already, but yeah. On wallet accounts, different applications use the term wallet and account to refer to different things. See the glossary wallet page. A specific meaning to be aware of and decide whether to support is that of account path levels in hierarchical deterministic wallet C44. To put it simply, multiple separate wallets can be derived from the same recovery phrase. By choosing a different account number, this feature might be helpful to explicitly separate funds meant for different purposes while having the same, like a single backup. I think that could be it. However, users should be aware that the accounts have identical security properties. This feature is not broadly adopted. Ensure that both wallet import and export consider this and provide appropriate options. One reference to this, by the way, is what Albi does with their master key. Yeah, so they now allow you to derive a master key for a bunch of different layers, liquid, noster, etc., etc. So that might, there might be some point of reference there.
Okay, cool. Okay, thanks for joining, Uti. See ya.
Bye-bye.
That's it, Uti.
Bye.
Cool, and that puts us at the end of this page. So how do we feel about it?
Hate it.
Yeah.
Great work, man. Great work.
You
Really
nailed
excited. Yeah.
You nailed a very complex topic. This page in itself has like 5 different topics all merged into one. I think it's a challenging bit to write about because when you see it, it's linking out to so many different pages as well. So it's pulling together from so many different directions. So yeah, all in all good.
Yeah. Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah, I have a bunch of notes. I have a bunch of notes I'm going to go through, and I'll try today to get one iteration, and then maybe we can do a maybe final round of reviews on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, John, you're about to say.
Nice.
Oh no, I was saying that we need to get wallets to adopt it now. Let's start the multi-wallet mafia now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'd love to see how we can promote this page, talk about it. Yeah, that's a big thing for 2024. Get more of this stuff adopted and work more closely with teams.
Yeah.
What not? Yeah. So can I show you something totally different real quick that I'm very excited about?
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
So I'm here in Figma in my test file for the Bitcoin UI kit.
What's this?
And I have a plugin here. Let me see. And well, I shared a video about this earlier. So I have a style sets page here that has some color palettes and some modes and some typographic themes. And here I have some example screens. So if, let's say, I want the UI kit, but I don't want the stupid, boring interfont, I want Anton and Work Sans, then I select this thing here, and I press maybe it will work now, probably not. I press my Apply Style Set button in my plugin. And it should automatically update everything.
Oh wow.
Now we are talking.
Very interesting.
And maybe I want this purple palette here. I'm gonna select that palette and press apply style set. And it's very slow because it updates a ton of stuff. And maybe
Yeah.
I want the dark mode here by default. I'm gonna do that.
Oh wow.
And I want rounded buttons, pill buttons. I'm just gonna apply that.
That's crazy.
So now we have something that looks quite different. That one didn't work for some reason. So that way it allows, because we talked about this personalization stuff earlier. So this way now we can put in like 5 color palettes, 5 typographic sets, maybe some other stuff. And then you copy the UI kit, you just piece together what you want. And then you have something that already looks pretty unique. And
Building a
Nice.
Bitcoin wallet on steroids. Done.
And what's basically happening is that each of these frames, it has some text files in there that contain JSON, and then it just applies that to,
Mm.
it's just a little bit
Wow.
of JavaScript here.
That's crazy.
It's
Yep.
insane. Did you write the plugin, Christoph?
Yeah, so I have this plugin has some other stuff going on. Like I can select a component and list all the instances. I can find all unstyled text elements here, so I can clean them up. And there's this thing that analyzes all components and lists out all the ones that are remote or removed.
Mm.
Because otherwise it's impossible to keep this file clean without these kind of tools, to these maintenance tools.
Mhm.
But if you would like to put together a color palette or a typographic style or something else that you'd love to see in there, we'd love your contribution.
I'll do a bold font
That's
version.
Yeah, totally.
Mhm. Cool, very cool.
So these palettes need then to have the same amount of colors and shades, or
Correct, because
so that when you swap them, you need to have a replacement value for.
Yeah, correct, because only the existing color styles are used throughout the document. So if you add a new style, it's just not used anywhere, right? So it's not going to change anything. Just the names need to be the same. Thanks for joining, Jones.
Wow.
Thanks so much, guys. Amazing
Hey.
work.
See ya, man.
Bye, Jones.
Oh, that's really cool.
Super cool.
Awesome. Yeah, and the nice thing is, if you don't like it, you can just go back to the default with just a few clicks as well. It might freeze your computer for a little bit, but it's just